Inmates would be brought down here. They would be shackled by their wrists to the wall in a standing position anywhere from about 1 to 30 days. Pull them into the middle of the room and almost decapitated. Whole tour watches those 3 men disappear, and then my flashlight dies.
That's
Yes.
very.
Dude, this is a terrible idea.
Is there anybody here with us?
Oh my god.
What?
Oh my god.
Right in the middle. We don't want to harm you in any way. Can you say goodbye?
Goodbye.
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to TFIL and our 25 weeks of haunted, abandoned, cool, historical locations tour thing that we're doing. We're in West Virginia right now, and we are actually, of course, at the West Virginia Penitentiary, which you can see was open from 1866 to 1995. This place is massive. If we got lost at Trans-Allegheny,
You're gonna have a hard time here.
I mean, it has to go 500 feet to my left and another 750 feet. Unlike some of the other places we've been to, this has probably the most violent history to it. Like, of course, the last places had particular cases, but as a whole,
It's probably the deadliest prison out there.
yeah, this prison is just violent. I mean, what is it? 998 documented deaths from I believe 998.
That's
from
so
I
many.
believe like 1920 to 1995.
That is crazy.
And then another 500 estimated that weren't documented.
And a lot of executions.
Yes.
A lot of them.
I'm pretty sure the electric chair is on display here.
Is it?
They hung people. That's so crazy. That is insane, dog.
Yeah, and I guess like Charles Manson requested to be sent here, and the warden said, nope, we'll never have you here.
Wow.
So, I'm excited to learn a lot about this place. It is much different than the other 2 spots. But
Well, also from what we know, it was also put on a burial ground from an ancient Indian tribe, and that's why it's called MOUNDSVILLE.
Yeah, that's literally what Moundsville is called, because of the
Insane.
giant mound that's over there.
Yeah.
So, well, that's true here, and it looks like a castle.
No, I know.
It's huge.
It literally does. Well, per usual, we asked to have a guide that just knows way more than us, so we're going to have a guide that's going to give us a history and kind of like the paranormal history or affiliation with these locations as well.
It could be a girl too. Doesn't have to be a guy.
Yeah, dude.
Did you say guide?
Guide.
Oh,
Guide.
Okay. Guide. Got it.
All right, we're going to...
He didn't hear the D.
Yeah.
We're gonna go inside.
Hello, mister.
Oh.
We'd like to go to jail, please.
Let's go to prison, guys.
Hello, mister.
We've already been let out of one prison this week.
guys
so
ready?
Yeah,
Let's do it. In we go.
Santa's got a way different workshop, huh? Look at this hut. Santa's hut.
Oh, that's Santa's
hut.
Who says Santa's hut?
I find that hard to
There's just
believe.
Elves in all the cages.
The elves are just shanking each other.
So this is where the naughty elves.
Uh.
They shaved out a candy cane.
And they eat it. And there's no evidence. Perfect.
Better than the popsicle.
It's the perfect weapon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Perfect
Just
weapon.
way more tasty.
Jesus
Oh boy.
Christ. Oh, it's nice and warm.
Ooh. Oh, does it actually document all the? Oh.
Yes, it had 9 deaths.
9 people died in that
9
chair.
execution. All murderers.
Why did they give it the same name as like a beat up car? Like Old Sparky.
Old Sparky.
Old Sparky.
Yeah, or like a
Good old
dog.
Sparky. Yeah, like an old dog.
That's a dog on a farm.
I don't know.
Sparky. That's so f***ed. Oh, I just got it too.
Oh my God.
Oh, I just got it too.
Wait, you didn't. That's what just went through your mind.
I didn't think about it being an electric chair. Because
Sparky.
anytime I think I'm somewhat smart, this happens, and I go reset the confidence level.
Wow.
Who's calling who dumb now?
Exactly.
Oh boy.
He's a better person, so he didn't call me dumb.
See?
Dude, you're getting close to 2 million inches up there. Look at that. Jesus Christ, you're getting tall.
2 million centimeters.
2 million inches.
Wait, why does it say 2M?
Because it's centimeters.
Yeah, but
2 meters?
2 meters.
that's true. That's how the metric system works, huh?
Dude.
I don't know why they just didn't
Come
put
on.
200. They should have put 200.
What's happening with you right
I swear I'm smart. All right, we can start the tour now. Cool. So these are all true, genuine weapons that have been found here.
Yes.
Do you think they were confiscated after maybe somebody attacked somebody?
It's a tattoo gun.
I'm sure some of them were, but I can't confirm which one's in the case.
That's
you know what I mean?
A toothbrush shank?
Yeah.
Dude, look at the fork.
That's
They
the most
bent down the
common.
2 middle prongs and then made them pointy.
That's
There's
gnarly.
actually a little bit of a science behind that fork itself. If you actually kind of look, the inside 2 tines are not closed on the fork completely because then it acts as a fish hook. So it does damage on the way in, but it does just as much, if not more damage on the way back.
That is
These inmates were pretty creative. I hate to say it that way, but you know.
That's awful.
Wow.
Okay, but how does someone just give them access to a grappling hook?
We did have a prison industry building where a lot of these trusted inmates could go and learn new labor trades.
Wow.
And oftentimes they would smuggle, razor blades or hacksaw blades or other metal items from them.
Dude, the chainsaw is the craziest though.
Yeah, that could cut
Wrap it around their neck and then you just pull it like this until it like saws their head off.
Or you would cut their chains, but
No, that's what that's for.
really? To
The
kill
bars, I would assume.
No, they didn't.
That one,
She works here. Don't argue with her.
No, you're wrong.
What the hell?
argument's good. It opens up discussion.
All right. Haven't you ever seen that in movies? And movies are all real. They put it around their
You
heads
just
and then they
told
go.
us you've seen no movies.
No, I haven't seen
You didn't
a lot.
know who Charles Manson was.
No,
You still
I
don't know who Charles Manson is.
He's that
Who
guy.
is he?
He's the guy that did the
What
stuff.
song did he write?
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Our guy
Yeah, that's one of the first rules.
It's kind of hard to close from this side, so as long as it's mostly closed, and this place is pretty
We
large.
spent a lot of time being lost the last couple of places, so.
Yeah.
What is the square footage in which we are?
That one I honestly couldn't tell you, and we do have 2 separate sides of the prison.
Probably another acres.
The northern side was built first by the inmates between about 1866 to 1899. And then when it became a little more overpopulated, they just simply needed more room. The southern half that we're in now was built between 1929 to 1959. And although the inmates did assist, it was mostly done by construction crews.
The inmates built their own prison.
Yes.
So then were they just like laying on the ground before it was made?
The original thing that was here was just simply a wooden stockade. And then when we're out on the North Recreation Yard, I'll show you their housing unit for those trusted inmates who were able to build walls up around them.
Like the guards are like, all right, you stay in this square line.
Don't you leave.
Don't move.
You're gonna help me build this
You're
wall.
gonna build your own prison. That's what's gonna happen.
But until then, I'm gonna draw this line. Don't you leave.
Now, if you notice the colored lines on the floor here, that's because our general population of New Wall, right down there, that's our newer updated cell block put in about the 1950s. Wow. And since that was our general population and not our segregation unit, they did have a lot more freedom to move throughout the prison. So on the hour, every hour, a bell would chime and those inmates could travel within the yellow lines to travel to either the cafeteria, the rec yard, the law library. Another bell would chime, they would be locked down there for the next hour. Now the red line behind you was actually only used for traveling back to the cell block, particularly in time of prison lockdown. And they had something they did here called the Inmate Walk, and this is where everyone walking within that red line had to put their hand up on the wall as high as they could reach. They had to have their other hand on the shoulder of the inmate in front of them. They were to look down at the floor. They were not permitted to speak, to smile, to make eye contact. But the biggest rule, if they stepped outside that red line, the officers had permission to shoot.
Jesus.
Now that red gun box that you can see right there, if you notice, it's kind of nicely lined up and color coordinated with that red line. The officer inside that box had to be qualified with a 12-gauge shotgun and a .357 Magnum. They had a very clear line of sight with you, but he does have to make a split-second decision. Did the inmate step over the line in order to assault another inmate, or did the guy behind him trip up his ankle and push him out of the line?
Oh, wow.
So unfortunately, there are many deaths in this hallway simply over a painted line on the floor.
What the? I feel like how many prisons would be deaf because of one gunshot here? It would just completely deafen
Seems like a
anybody.
flawed system.
Well, also using a 12-gauge shotgun, you got to think you don't want to be next to that
Oh,
guy. It's about to
yeah.
step off the red line either.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, that's not even funny. Okay, that's funny.
Now, New Wall is made up of 325 cells divided into 4 blocks J, K, L, and M. Now, the main difference between... What's that?
Were you just kidding about that first part?
What was the first part?
JK.
Oh my.
It's so stupid. Don't even pay attention to that show.
I've literally heard that joke so many times, I don't even
Don't pay attention. Yeah,
comedy. You can tell him to leave.
there you go. That didn't scare you.
That's the worst insult I've ever gotten. I heard the joke so many times, I didn't even react.
Now the interesting part about this wall is that this is the one cell block where you actually do have access all the way up to the 14th.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Now this cell block was the general population, and there would have been about 500 inmates in total, usually only up to about 4 officers, so they were definitely vastly outnumbered. And the one story that we like to give reference to in this location was actually of a man named Willie Hale. Now, he was known by the other inmates to be a snitch, and that title caught up to him eventually. One of the inmates did take him up to the 2nd tier. They threw him off. He survived that fall. So what they did is they took him up to the 4th tier. They threw him off, and he hit his head on that concrete shower that you see right there. Now, he still survived that fall, but barely. So what they did is they stabbed him so many times that they basically decapitated him. They took his head, put it on a spike, and then walked it around all the windows for the other inmates and the community members to be able to see what happens to snitches.
How were there no guards?
There would have only been about 4 in the 325 cells.
What?
So there's a good chance too that these inmates kind of knew the schedule everybody was on, and they knew kind of when they could get away with something as well. And especially too, if there's a certain number of inmates that are kind of uprising and you're the only guard here, it's almost safer for you to not interact because you know you're outnumbered.
Yeah. Wow. That's insane.
Now in this area, the paranormal occurrences that we have a lot, we do get a lot of voices being spoken, a lot of EVPs. Every once in a while, people will get, the hair tug, the arm touch and stuff. This one in here, I've had reported to me multiple times of people being spit on from the upper tier, which is something that would have happened during prison operation, but I will also say that there is some holes that are leaking water. So, if you're out here and you get a water drop, probably a leak in the ceiling. If you're in the tiers and you get a water drop, that's probably not the ceiling.
You're gonna spit on, yeah.
How many stitches do you think it took to put his head back on?
Oh, dude, I don't even want to think about that.
I mean, snitches do get stitches, so.
Did you try to... That one got him.
I got a little... Have you heard that joke before, huh?
What's that?
Nothing.
A lot of these inmates will kind of sign their name. We have a couple more famous that I'll touch on a little bit as we pass one of our main art rooms, if you will. We do know that at one point, more than one point actually, we had over 3,000 inmates. We only have less than 800 cells.
What? So
that's 4 people to a cell.
So in our other cell block, for instance, all the cells are 5 by 7. They would have 3 men inside of those cells.
So 2 guys had to sleep in one bed.
Before everyone was let out into the yard, did you guys put a milkshake out here?
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't heard that one.
All right.
That's a good one.
Wow. Was it good?
It was good.
Wow.
I'm a little mad I didn't think of that myself.
I thought for sure she would have heard that one.
I'm batting 500. I'm batting 500, boys.
This is where they prison. You need to go back into the prison right now.
Now we do have as well an indoor recreation room when it was inclement weather out here, too much snow or too much rain. And what they would do is they would take about 150 inmates, roughly, and they would shove them into a room in the basement that was never intended to house inmates. And because of this, there was a lot of dangers for the officers to go and check on these inmates. There's very low ceilings, so the officer can never get the visual height advantage. If it's one officer versus hundreds of inmates, you can't carry a loaded weapon for the fear that the inmate will take it and use it against you. Yep. There's lots of pillars throughout the room that creates a lot of blind spots. So for the safety of the officers, they were often advised not to go check on the inmates in this room, and the inmates knew that.
Yep.
So after an uncountable number of robberies, fights, stabbings, and usually sexual assaults, it was nicknamed by the inmates the Sugar Shack. And that's not because you could get candy from commissary down there.
That's exactly what I thought it would be for.
And that's our next location.
All right.
Let's go. Sugar Shack.
Watch your head when you come through.
Oh, no, not to worry about. This is Sugar Shack?
Yes. Now the pillars, as you can see, kind of created a blind spot. If an officer was just to peek his head inside, he can't see a lot of the room. Now down here, we do tend to get a lot of shadow figures, to the point where when our haunted house runs through October and it runs through this location, you get to take a nice boat ride on the River of Styx. We have a lot of our actors that actually will spend about a weekend down here and request to be moved into a different location. because although there is a lot of fog that's spread down here, they will see someone coming through the fog, they will kind of prepare themselves to get ready for the scare, and then that person will disappear right in front of them. So oftentimes a lot of our employees do not like to be down here. We also do get a lot of reports of orange, not always orbs because it's not always a circular shape, but a lot of, you know, smudges within a picture, and they all happen to be very bright, vibrant orange, and we're not sure what the significance of that color is.
What are the chances you have a smoke machine?
Maybe, I'll have to ask Ryan upstairs.
Oh, if you do that, would be.
A lot of people get a lot of stuff down here with laser grids as well, you know, you said
Oh, we do have those.
And a lot of people will get those figures that are moving for a laser grid.
That would be so sick.
So you really just want to get me scared.
I'll be your best friend if you have it. Like,
Here as well. So this doorway in particular was not where you would want to be standing. People know they could rob you or stab you here. I was actually coming through here one night, and the only other person in the building was actually my nephew, so someone I'm very close with.
and you
we're
stabbed him.
Walking through, and believe it or not, I kind of thought, but I was walking through, and we're just having a conversation. I'm not even paying attention. My cigarettes are in my pocket, and they get ripped out.
What? They got ripped out.
Yes.
By your
Like to
nephew?
the point where I could actually hear like the scraping of the cardboard box.
What?
Yeah, I made quite an interesting noise, and my nephew was actually on the other side of me. So
Okay.
there's no way it was him.
That's crazy.
So now we're on the side that the inmates film. Correct? This side is?
This is the older side. Yes.
Okay.
Built by one of our inmates out of paper mache.
Really?
Well, and concrete as well.
Wow. Well, they made the Ninja Turtles here. They got
Now,
Leonardo.
in this room, we had two main artists who decided that the children that were coming in for visitation were very frightened, and they wanted to lighten the mood. So my personal favorite happens to be our famously muscular prison unicorn.
Oh, well, that's my next tattoo.
Reoccurring theme, you'll see these all over the place. And the rumor that goes around about these prison unicorns is that they were painted in dedication to the inmates who were labeled the sweet ones. So many of these have very nice rear ends.
Did y'all just hear that?
Yes, I did. It happens so often here that I don't.
Wait, I thought somebody walked in behind us.
No.
No, and when we passed by the gift shop, Ryan was still in there.
Yeah, I saw
And
him.
Ryan is very thorough about paranormal investigations. If he had made a noise, he would quickly announce it was him. On January 1st of 1986, a riot in this room lasted about 52 hours, 16 hostages were taken, and 3 inmates were brutally murdered.
Wow. 52 hours?
Yeah. So this is our infamous Shadow Man's hallway. Now, a quick Google search of the penitentiary, you're probably going to pop up with one of our most infamous images. In about May of 2002, a lady named Polly Gear was traveling through here, and she's in the hallway by herself. She hears what she describes as a metallic object being thrown her way and hitting the floor. So she turns around, and in that cafeteria door stands the full-bodied figure of a man completely cast in shadow. She takes her flashlight and she shines it at the Shadow Man. The light passes through him, but he actually already seems to be, you know, intelligent enough that he actually follows the path of the light rise onto his chest. So now, understandably, she decides to leave the hallway, but she snaps one photo. She captures that Shadow Man. What? To this day, that is probably one of our most infamous images. Have you guys seen it?
I need to see that.
Dude, that looks super close to the USS Salem one.
That's
That's
yes, but it
very
was huge.
Well, I mean, but look at the size of the door, dude.
And that's right in front of the cafeteria door, right?
Yes, that door right down there at the end there.
Wow. He stood there that long that she could even just take a picture?
I cannot believe that.
That's crazy. That'd be incredible.
Since that day, we've had the reports of so many different people that have either captured or seen that shadow figure. And a lot of people like to kind of speculate on who they think it is. You know, is it a disgruntled guard? Is it a murdered inmate? Because I've actually seen a line of shadow men come through that open doorway and kind of walk into the cafeteria.
No. Perfect.
Hey, here's a question for you. Where do baby cows eat lunch?
Oh my god. Don't.
I get it. I already know.
I already know it.
I don't know.
The cafeteria.
Yep. And where do legs eat lunch, Elton? Huh?
Oh,
where do
the
legs
cat.
eat lunch?
Okay, yeah. Where's your body?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Can I get some Alfredo for me and my boys?
Yeah, for him and his boys, boss. Excuse me, boy.
We ain't got no Alfredo, kid.
What the f you mean you ain't got Fredo?
We ain't got no Fredo here.
Are you afraid of Fredo?
Get him, boss. Get him, boss. Get him, boss.
Well, you shouldn't be because you're on scare tactics. Now, where's my Fredo?
We ain't
Where's the
got
Fredo,
no
boss?
Fredo.
Get him, boss. Yeah, where's the Fredo, boss? I tell him where the Fredo at.
There ain't no Fredo, you kid. You're gonna have to order something else.
All right, well, where's the 4 for $4? That's what Corbin wants.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper.
That's what I want, boss.
This is McDonald's.
Can I get the J Balve? Ever heard about
We're gonna have the Mario Lopez shake next? Like, what?
No, he's not as famous.
Can I get the Reba? The McIntyre?
Can I get the Reba McIntyre quarter pounder, please?
What did Al Capone become after he died?
What?
Al Capone's.
Get out of here.
No.
Get out of here. Oh, okay.
Yeah!
Look at that.
No, don't give him that one. Don't give him that
They are, the funnier they are.
one. Don't give him that one. That one wasn't good.
That's what makes it a good one.
No.
Bad fun for the
that was
best fun.
terrible.
But it's called punishment.
Oh.
All right, what's next? We gotta learn.
Now this is our northern recreation yard with.
Is that a normal noise?
It's probably because it's been kind of rainy and stuff today that it's probably water drips
Yeah.
falling on this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm my pants. We're good. Go back.
So I warn you, we've nicknamed this the Bat Cave.
Okay.
Not a paranormal term, it's just where the bats live.
Wow.
That's a tiny little cute guy. Haven't heard you say that in years.
Now this area for a while, up until about the 1950s, was actually used as our solitary confinement.
Ooh.
Inmates would be brought down here, they would be shackled by their wrists to the wall in a standing position anywhere from about 1 to 30 days.
What?
They were provided with 2 buckets, one was for your water and one was where your water went when you were done with it.
Ah.
There was never any electricity that was ran through here, so cockroaches pretty much took over this location. This location was also known to flood, usually above the knees of the inmate. So now think about the height of the bucket that is containing your human waste. And
Oh.
now that's all floating up around you,
That makes
and
sense.
those cockroaches are seeking you for dry land.
Oh, makes sense.
Now there was one warden, John Peck, who was known for
There's a
taking
bat. Is that a
his-
bat? Oh yeah, look right here.
Oh, that's
Look at
kind of
him.
cute though.
Wake him up.
Wait, is that
Is that a
Yeah, it's a bat. Yeah.
Probably,
Yeah, it's a bat.
That actually is a bat.
Yeah, it's a cute little face.
What the?
Look at his face.
I know. He's
Nah,
so cute.
is he
His
dead?
cute little face.
He's got a cute little face.
Is he dead?
A little bat. No, he's
Probably not. Now, one warden, John Peck, was known for taking his punishments to the inmates a little too far, and he was known for his uses of torture devices, and some of the most famously known for him were the shoe fly. This is where they take a large gauge water hose, much like what you would see a fireman use. They would hold that about 1 foot from the inmate's face, turn that on full blast until the officer had felt like the inmate learned the lesson.
a fire hose
Yes.
from 1 inch away from the face.
Yes, 1 foot, about.
I've done one from like 10 feet and that hurts like hell. I meant to the face.
nasty.
Do they end up with
That
teeth?
could, I mean, that we've known of jaws that were broken and ripped to the side.
Oh, you're done. Yeah.
That is
But he was a little more famously known for his use of the kicking jenny. This is a wooden half arch, warped over piece of wood. An inmate would be shackled by their ankles on one side, bent over that half arch, shackled by their wrist on the other. Now, the night before, they would take a 3-inch wide leather strap. They would soak that in vinegar or salt water. Before the torture began, they would then dip that wet whip in a bucket of sand. Now, it was the job of one officer to beat the back of the inmate, usually causing the skin to swell so bad that it was described as tearing like wet paper.
It's like sandpaper.
And this would continue either until the officer was totally overtaken by exhaustion or until the inmate died.
Oh my. So either they died or the officer got tired
Yes.
of torturing him, like physically tired.
Yes. Now, this continued until Warden John Peck was asked to step down as warden once it was discovered that he had an average of 2 inmate deaths by torture per month for just over 2 years.
Per month.
Now, after that
24,
time period, this was converted into a maintenance boiler area, and there was one inmate who was trusted enough to be able to work on these boilers that they allowed him the freedom to reside down here by himself. Now, his name was Robert Daniel Wall. He called himself RD, but the other inmates called him the warden's favorite snitch.
Oh.
Now, they did not like the idea that he had the freedom to come in and out of here as often as he'd like, that he had his own basic apartment, if you will. He didn't have to be kept in a cell. He had a lot of freedoms. And as well, being known for a snitch, the other inmates did not like that. So on October 8th of 1979, 2 to 3 inmates broke into this location. They found RD actually on the toilet at the time, stabbed him multiple times, pulled him into the middle of the room, and almost decapitated him. Now, when he didn't show up to, the count the next morning, that's how the officers knew something was wrong, because he was always on time, and they came down here to find his lifeless body in his bedroom. And that's the room, if you're interested, right off to the side here. I'm going to duck under the mat like a little girl, and I'm okay with that.
This was his room?
Yes.
Why are there 2 chairs in here?
Usually because people like to kind of take a minute down here, and especially because it gets very dark in here as well, and they kind of like to try to have a conversation with RD, if you will. Now, a lot of people believe that RD still resides down here. He is a very friendly spirit. However, sometimes he's a little too friendly. Oh. He likes to let himself usually be known through touch.
Okay.
Now, for the men, it's usually a grab of the arm, or a swipe across the rib cage or something. For the ladies, it's usually, a soft caress of the face or a tug of the hair.
Wow. Why were they letting him live like a king?
Because he was trusted, and as well, he was able to work on that boiler system. Anytime it would break down, he would just already be down here to fix it.
Wow. So they killed him.
Because he was snitch.
Yeah.
Yes. Nuts. He was the warden's unicorn.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but it literally felt like someone blew on my neck.
Just now?
Again, could be wind.
Or a bat.
That was really creepy.
I will say it is a little bit hard to get the air draft back through that S-curve here. We don't get a lot of wind in this
It was like a directional blow right on the side of my left
But we
neck.
know who RD likes.
Robert.
No!
RD's looking for his unicorn. And
He does
Evan
have
has
some
an
nice hair.
HC.
Whoa.
What's interesting about you saying that, especially because I didn't tell this part of the story, and I don't know what you guys are comfortable with on camera or not. I'm sure
Everything.
you can control
Absolutely
this.
everything.
So
He's
RD
done
was
amateur.
said to be into men. And the rumor is that one of the men that broke into here was his ex-boyfriend, and that's how he knew to get into here. He had already had access to this location.
I wonder if Evan resembles him.
It sounds like he does. Just a tiny bit.
Evan honestly looks like a prison so.
He does.
Oh my god! Oh my
It's
god!
kind of a compliment, like if you think about it.
I mean, wow, jeez. Dude, we're only 10 minutes down here and Robert's already blowing him.
Okay, alright.
Oh, we got a lot of editing
Come
on this
on.
one.
No, we don't. This is great.
Oh.
Come on, do it. Come on, do it. You're doing a really good job there.
Come on,
Real good job.
Brandon.
Really good job.
This is the only way he could keep himself alone with girls.
Deadly part, if you look up kind of close, those butterfly-shaped fish hooks, those are designed that when they sense your movement, they curl into your muscle tissue.
Okay.
So now the more you wiggle around and try to get yourself free, the deeper they curl and the faster you bleed out.
Oh, that makes sense.
Now, to give you an idea of like exactly how sharp it was manufactured by the Gillette Razor Company. And yes, it is the best a man can get.
No, you couldn't do that. There's no way. Not without throwing something over. You should try.
Yeah, I want to see you try.
Oh my gosh, bro. You saw the razor blades on it?
Yeah.
And I say on camera that I do not condone it. Now, in this area, before these bullpens were here, stood a 2-story white building. Nice large viewing window up on the 2nd floor. And that was what was referred to as our death house. And that's what housed our gallows and old Sparky, the electric chair, for many years.
Geez.
The public could come in and purchase tickets, and they could watch this all unfold. But just because it was in the public eye doesn't mean things always went smoothly. In the year of 1931, Frank Heyer was up for a hanging. Now, Frank was a larger man, very broad shoulders, very tall. And long story short, the officers made the rope a little bit too long for his body mass. When he came crashing through those double doors, he was instantly decapitated. Now, as his head rolls into the middle of the public crowd, and, panic ensues, that's kind of when the warden decided that maybe these shouldn't be so public, and he comes up with the title of by invitation only. Now, to gain an invitation, you either had to be a friend, family member, loved one of either the inmate or one of their victims, or sometimes you could call the warden and say, hey, psst, I got some ticket money for you.
Wow. So crazy.
Now, 7 years after Frank Heyer in 1938, the West Virginia Penitentiary featured one of its first triple hangings and actually advertised it in the local newspapers, 3 for the price of 1.
Wow.
Now, the man standing in the center, his name was Orville Adkins, and just before they got the rope around his neck, those double doors below him opened prematurely, and he fell about 20 to 25 feet onto the concrete below, breaking multiple bones. Now, they did send in a medical team to look him over. There wasn't really much they could do for him being a death row inmate, so they brought out a stretcher, tied him down, carried him back up to the second floor, and hung him, stretcher and all. People will report a lot of shadow figures that are quickly passing through, and some even report that they actually go through this gap in the fence here. So, you know, we're led to believe it's not an actual living human that can just run through fences.
Yeah, exactly.
We get a lot of the sounds of men cursing or having conversations with each other, and we have had reported these fences will start to very violently shake. It's a power play move for the leadership of the Aryan Brotherhood. Rusty Lassiter stabbed Red Snyder 37 times in the face, throat, and chest. Lots of people are led to believe that Red still resides in North Hall, and he does like to check up on our customers from time to time. One of the #1 complaints I get when people pass by Red's cell is that their own name was whispered in their ear. So I wanted you to be able to see that there is nothing in that hallway. And that is what a customer sent to us. It looks like the figure of a man standing in that open hallway. To me at least, there's nothing in that hallway that looks like a man standing there.
Crazy. I would go insane being in here.
Oh yeah.
The officers that work this location usually had to wear full riot gear just to feed these guys.
Oh no, I'm locked in a scary cell.
Watch out, because that one does get stuck.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, sometimes, especially with the cold weather.
I barely even see him. Cool.
Now, this is arguably the most active location within the prison. This is one location where many of our employees just absolutely refuse to enter out. Lots of ankles being grabbed, shadow figures crossing the hallways, footsteps running up behind you.
What is that for?
Dentist office.
Oh, dentist. Wait a second. There's no way. Can you shine your light all the way down there? Whoa! No, it's not on the picture at all. When my camera flashed, I saw someone standing there like this, and I was like, oh, there's definitely like a desk or something there.
So I came up here one time for one of our paranormal tours, and I got to the very beginning of the steps, and I looked down to see if another tour guide's group was at the end, because if I move too quickly with my tours on certain tours, I might run into the back end of the other tour guide. And there was about 3 men standing right in that open room, so I tell my tour, I'm like, hey, we might have gone too quickly.
What is that? Wait.
Is that like a face? Wait a second, let me see. Like, do you wanna?
Yes, I do.
Honestly, look. Huh. Oh. Weird. Here, I wanna do this again just to see if I can get that like shadow looking down the hall. No, I didn't see it again. That's weird.
We lost Elton.
I was telling my customers one day that there was a couple of men standing in that hall, and one of the customers on the tour, he puts his hand on my shoulder and he says, ma'am, I don't think that's a tour. And I look over and my whole tour watches those 3 men disappear, and then my flashlight dies.
Oh, that's perfect. Was that up in the nighttime or was that?
Yeah, in October we do something called a North Walk, and it's a 45-minute flashlight only paranormal tour. So for those that don't really care for like the haunted house people jumping out at you.
Yeah.
Another prison unicorn.
Hey, look at the muscles on that.
That one's got the hair of Evan though.
That does. Yes.
What?
Nothing.
I remember when you had long hair.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was better than Brandon's.
And yeah.
Do you want to see his hair? I think his hair might be longer than yours.
Hold on, give me a second.
I don't know, I got that whole Amish look going on.
Here we go.
When you come out, Brandon, come out as a prison unicorn.
Oh.
Brandon just looked at me and goes, okay.
Give me a second here. Okay.
I present to you Brandon Gross. Oh. Oh my god. There's no way that's real. What is it? Whoa. Wait, where'd he go? There's no way. I looked away for like a second. Oh, dude. Dude, there was like a prison unicorn. There was a unicorn right there. Just a second ago. Oh, I swear to God.
I would have heard one.
It looked just like that.
Dude, that's sexy. I wish I could have seen something like that.
But it was a little bit like, its behind was like a little bit thicker.
Oh.
Yeah.
That thick.
It was like a bad bitch pony. Exactly.
Damn it. Maybe one day.
It had like another limb, like underneath too. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, and like the horn wasn't on its head.
It wasn't on its head.
It was like under him.
It was weird.
The bathroom here gets a lot of EVPs, and we're led to believe because of the suicides that took place in here. For instance, there was one inmate who fell asleep on the toilet, or so the nurses thought. When they go to wake him up, they realize he sliced his throat open and his femoral artery with a razor blade, and he was bleeding out into the toilet the whole time.
Oh my God.
That's crazy. And down here is my least favorite room.
Out of all these
My
rooms,
favorite and my least favorite.
what? It's your favorite and your least favorite. How can you have both?
You'll notice I won't walk inside. This one contains our suicide psych watch cells. An inmate would be stripped naked as to have nothing to harm themselves with. They would be in those cells anywhere from 2 to 8 hours. I don't know why that is unlocked, because it is constantly locked.
Wait. That's not supposed to be.
That's not supposed to be. I've never seen that open.
You've never seen that open?
No.
Never. I promise you.
You've never seen that?
Never seen it open.
It's kind of beautiful.
Oh wait, look at this though.
Jack. What does that say?
It says Jack. Look at the bottom. Snake and abuse. Oh wow. Yeah, look at this. Look at it.
Good in there.
They
Corey?
start
It smells
violently
like
shaking.
cologne.
It smells
It
good.
smells like literally like.
How'd you go in
Cologne.
there? You've never been in there when I got there. Come on, first time for everything.
I have no trust for anybody inside of Haunted Prison.
Why does it
I'm
smell
gonna
like
be completely
cologne?
honest.
I swear to God, though.
It's the first time for everything. That's what we're
We
here for.
do get a
It's our
lot
turn
of
to
like
guide you.
smell reports though, and it's not usually like things you would think in here. Like you would think maybe tobacco products
Yeah.
or something like that.
Cigarettes.
We get a lot of like candy smells and a lot of perfumes or colognes, which sometimes on tour, if I have multiple people, it might just be one of them.
There's like a ton of codes in here. It's like 9-1.
Just watch out for that drain.
SE
Karen's gonna be going.
Let him go in.
4-8
So that's always been locked.
SCC.
Man, you got up here probably how many times? And you've never seen the inside.
You've never just pulled the door?
Tons of customers pull the door all the time.
Guess they're not strong.
But I mean, how did you guys figure out it was open? You go over, you
Yeah, exactly. The huge.
Was it
Yeah.
open whenever you walked in here?
No, it was closed.
No, it was
I even
closed.
heard the latch undo itself too. I literally pulled it and I heard it undo the little.
Yeah, I mean that was locked.
I'll close it, right? Because you don't want people in there, because then if it does lock again. Yeah, see, it was locked. It was like that.
Try opening it.
Oh. Oh.
Now you guys know I wasn't messing with you. Like it's never.
We should have put Corey in there.
Dude, what if we would have just...
No, you tried You tried closing the door.
But Elton.
Well, I stopped it. I stopped it.
No, I stopped him closing it on you.
Oh, I had my foot there. There was no way that was happening.
No, when you were in there.
So wait. Just to recollect what's just happened. She's never seen the inside of this ever. Elton comes up, opens this door, which we know is locked right now. It was unlocked for you. We saw this. First time she's ever seen the inside. Takes a picture of it. You put it back. It's locked again.
I mean, it wasn't unlocked. I heard the lock undo itself.
It
I literally
undid.
pulled on it and I heard it go and like undo itself.
No
way.
Okay, it's a thumb lock.
maybe. It's a clapper.
No, it's not clever.
Well, now I want to know what that code is.
Did you go in there and film it? Oh my God.
Do you know of an inmate called Jack Anhoff?
No, I do not.
I hate that it sounds like I'm saying what I'm saying. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Huh.
I'm kind of really happy I was here to witness that.
Holy
That was
crap.
crazy.
It's the power of puns.
Yes.
You know?
Now this plexiglass here, I had a gentleman on tour and he comes up to the window and he does one of these numbers to see inside and he jumps and screams. His girlfriend starts laughing at him and he said it was another person on tour, some lady wearing red. She leaned up in the window at the same time and it scared me. So I collect the group back together and the only females on the tour are me and his girlfriend. No one is wearing red.
Wow.
So he's a little bothered by that. At the end of the day, I go to another tour guide and I tell him the story and he said, well, you do know who wore red, right? And I said, no. He said all members of the Psych unit had to wear red to depict throughout the prison where they should be located.
Wow.
You're home.
Wow.
Look, our little unicorn's home.
This room was used for Alcoholics Anonymous meetings and Narcotics Anonymous meetings. And the reason it has no windows, some people believe it's for jumpers. Nope, we've got bars on the windows for that. It's used for the Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. You never want to expose an alcoholic to natural light.
Oh my god.
That was a good one.
That was the best one the whole video.
I think so. That was good.
That was so good. Would you like to join TFIL? How you feeling?
Do you need us to spoon feed that one to you or no?
No, I got it.
Did you understand?
I got it.
Okay.
He's trying to act like it's not funny because he knows it was better than his joke.
Oh boy!
He's trying to think of every beer name.
Yep.
His brain is just going crazy right now.
What do you call your son that has not a lot of knowledge of Budweiser?
Alright, come on, Elton, spit one out. Come on, spit one out. Let's go.
Come on.
Come on, dude.
Come on, Heineken.
Come on, dude. Come on, dog. I don't have one. Oh, he's pissing his
There it is. There it is.
Elton, he's pissing.
He's almost there. He's almost there. His brain's calculating. 1,000 miles a minute.
Here we go.
Wait.
This is what he does when he can't think of puns.
Okay, wait. He sees it.
Hey.
Someone slap him. Slap him.
You're better than that. You're look at me. Look at me. You're cute. Come on, let's go home.
Right back to the gift shop again for the record as well. The issue was down register about half an hour.
I have one.
Okay,
What's the most friendly beer?
What?
Heineken.
No. No. Get out of here. Go. Get out of here. Leave. That wasn't worth it.
It wasn't bad. It was good, you know. I liked it. I think he put a lot of effort into it, and that made it even funnier. This is a weird video.
Such a weird video.
My favorite. My neck hurts. We're at the glory hole again.
Alright, so this video will not be monetized.
You hear about when Barbie got the DUI?
No.
She was with that Heineken doll.
Okay. Yeah. Well, guys, check back for part 2 when we investigate.
That's the ender. That's the ender of the last video.
That's how you should end it.
Oh my god.